Hello everyone, my name is Karandeep Singh. I am student of UCW University and it's my first semester in the university. Today I am here to share my views on the second chapter, Measuring Crime. So I'll start with the main objective of the chapter, the importance of imperial analytics. Four kind of primary method to measure crime and what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses, how to calculate crime per 100,000 people, and the trends of crime in Canada. So I'll start with the introduction. Why to measure crime? Measuring crime means to collect data from any kind of study to study what impact the crime have in the society. So there are four different kind to measure that crime: official statistics report, self-surveys report, victimization report, and observational report. So we first start explaining official static reports. Every country in the world measure their crime by official static reports. The reports which are submitted by the police are called official static reports. Static Canada is federal Canadian agency which collect data, analyze and makes the data available. Specialized in crime and justice in Canada, the Canadian Centre of Justice Statistics, which is supported by Uniform Crime Reporting. The reports which are submitted by police, there are three different kind of reports: violation crime, property crime, and other criminal codes. Violation crime includes homicides, murders, property crime includes trespassing, and other crime includes disturbance in peace. And now I'll talk about how to measure crime. Number of crimes reported by police multiplied by 100,000 by over the population is equal to crime rate per 100,000. Regular crime does not capture the seriousness of police, so that's why police reporting severity index was introduced in 2009, in which each of the crime a weight is diverted from the actual sentence handed by the court in all the province, by which all the serious crimes will have great impact on the report. There are a lot of reasons why we do not get the proper statistics of crime rates in the country. But the few reasons are: people do not report to police because of fear and they do not trust the police system. But sometimes the crime is not that serious, so people don't want to waste their money and their time. Sometimes they do not understand that they have been victimized and they have lack of knowledge. Now I would like to talk about a third topic, victimization surveys. The surveys are started by Canadian Urban Victimization Survey in 1981, which is now controlled by the General Surveys, Social Surveys, GSS. The GSS has reported that only one third of the crime is reported to police. Mostly these surveys are conducted on phone where the reporter is anonymous. GSS has some limitations. Because the first limitation is it is held every 5 years, and sometimes they are unable to collect information about the crime where the offender is unidentical, like prostitution and drug use. Now, I would like to talk about self-reporting surveys. Self-reporting surveys are the survey kind of study which is done by the researcher, not by the police or any other kind of federal agency. For example, the crimes which do not get the attention of police are reported in these surveys. But there are two main drawbacks of these surveys, which are attentional deception and unintentional deception. Attentional deception means to write down false information for personal gains, and unintentional deception means, like, if we write a report after few time, we'll have some memory loss, or we'll write some reports by our imagination which will conclude to a false information. Now I would like to talk about the fourth method of measuring crime, which is observational surveys. Observational surveys involves a closer inspection of crime in order to collect data. This is the outmost method of from all the surveys. Researchers do face-to-face work in order to collect the proper information about the crime, but there are some limitations of these surveys. The first one is it take a lot of time, and the other one is researchers is always in danger while researching on someone. Now there is a question: is crime in Canada is rising? Which it's depend on which type of measurement method we are using for consultant. We need to consult data and other information from different resource and different years. Now I'd like to talk about trends and color rates of homicides in Canada. In the Northern Territory, followed by the western part of the province, have the highest rate of homicides in Canada. In the west, homicide rates are higher than the northern parts of the province. Men are more likely to be victim of homicide than the female. And if the data is compared to the other countries like European nations and Japan, Canada have the highest rate of homicides compared to them. Now I'd like to talk about my views on the video why can't anyone agree on the crime rates. The FBI have been collecting data from the law enforcement since 1930 about the crime rates. The FBI every release a paper called Crime in United States every year, which include crime stats, crime place, crime time, and percentage of population. Each of these have different outcomes. As according to these reports, murder rates in USA is declining since 90s. As in 1991, the crime rate was actually 9.8% per 100,000 people, but in 2005 it was 4.5% per 100,000 people. Murder rate were historically low in 2015. Murder rate rose 10% in 2015. This 10% troubles you if you live in a city like Chicago, where the sharp increase in the murder rates. But overall, the murder rate were very low compared to last 10, 20 or 30 years. It depends on which type of data you are using to measure the crime. But the criminologists do not agree on 1 or 2 year data. Thank you. This was everything which I have learned from the chapter Measurement of Crime. In the video, I have explained everything which I have learned from my class discussion and from the notes which I had given, from where I had learned about the different methods of measurement of crime and understood that every method have different outcomes. And from the video, I understood the topic that why can't anyone agree on the crime rates reports. Thank you. Have a nice day.